This is Jill coming to you from the Homestead kitchen. Mark showed you how he made butter, and we're going to continue on with the butter process. Alright, Mark showed you how he got the curd, the butter curd, into the colander and it drained out the buttermilk. The next step is to press it into the hard butter and get all the whey out of it. So, I have my wooden spoon because it's got a nice flat, and I have found through trial and error that this is my best bowl. And you can see the shape of it. It works really good. I can press the butter up against the sides and it doesn't get stuck. It just keeps going around. Okay. You can see how the buttermilk is pressing out as I go here. And I'm just going to keep working it and working it. And when I get enough whey pressed out, enough buttermilk, I'll just dump it off. And that's what my other bowl here is for. So why butter? Butter's bad for you, right? I've actually had a lot of people say this, and it's not true. It's actually a bit of propaganda left over from way back in the industrialization of food after World War II, when they had all this industrial war waste left over and they had to do something with it. So guess what? They turned it into food. They said, voila, we can make food in the lab. And then they paid for studies that showed that margarine is better for you than butter. That butter will give you heart attacks. Oh my, and it'll make you obese and give you diabetes. It was all funded by the people that wanted to sell you margarine. So, butter is actually a very natural fat, and your body knows exactly what to do with it. Especially butter from grass-fed cows like this is. It's really high in the fat-soluble vitamins. So if you're gonna get butter, just getting butter instead of margarine is a good step. If you can afford to get organic butter, those cows have to be out on pasture for a certain share of the year. And so you're going to get more of the fat-soluble vitamins A, E, B12, and K. Like I said, contrary to everything that they said, those vitamins actually promote artery and heart health, especially vitamin E, which is only soluble in fat. K is unique to animal products. You won't find vitamin K in usable quantities in your plant fats. So, butter, beef, all those meat products and animal products have vitamin K, which has been linked to good blood clotting and good blood health. Actually, it's very important for that. Alright, at this point, I'm going to add some salt. I use real salt. You could use Himalayan salt. You can use any kind of sea salt. I wouldn't use Morton's table salt, but that's because I would never use Morton's table salt. It's got all sorts of fillers. It's a chemical compound. That's the salt that they've done studies with and said salt will kill you because it's bad for your heart. Well, sure enough, it doesn't have any trace minerals. It has all sorts of chemical fillers, and your body says, what the heck do I do with this? And so it just is counterproductive. Real salt, Himalayan salt, and all of the natural salts have tons of trace minerals. So they actually add a lot to your food. And in fact, your body needs a certain amount of salt to be healthy. A salt-free diet is not great for your body. Now, a Morton table salt-free diet is fabulous, and I'd highly recommend it. But you need salt. My kids go on salt licks, they call it, where they'll lick their hand, dump salt in, and then lick the salt. After, of course, they've washed their hands. So there we're going to keep working it. Now we've salted the butter, which really is a flavor issue more than anything. Another reason you want to eat butter is that it's a source of conjugated linoleic acid, which frankly I had to look up as well. So don't feel bad if you don't remember that from biology and anatomy and physiology in high school. Conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, is really important in immune function. So your immune system, staying healthy through the winter, through cold and flu season, butter can help. It also helps with inflammation. So people that have systemic inflammation, arthritis, and that kind of thing, conjugated linoleic acid can help combat that. Helps your body clean out and purge the things that are making it inflamed. Everything in moderation, of course. But if you have to pick a fat, butter's a pretty good choice.
Go ahead.
Okay, this butter is going to take a while to work yet because it's pretty warm. I'm actually going to just put it in the refrigerator for a little while here. It's really hard to press, so we'll check back in a few minutes and you'll see that it's going to be a lot easier to work with once it firms up a little bit. Okay, so I got the butter out of the fridge. It was a lot better. The other little trick that I did that I've used before is cold water. I just put some cold water in it and worked it in the cold water, and that cooled it off. You can see how much firmer it is now, and that I'm not getting much buttermilk out of it. So I'm going to call it done. You can press more buttermilk out of it if you really want to keep working it, but it'll do. This was an interesting thing that Rachel and I were noticing, and I wanted to show you. This is some butter from Holstein cows. This is just the Holstein milk. We got some Holstein milk and made the butter out of it, as opposed to our nice Jersey cow. You can see the color difference. We just thought that was pretty interesting. You know, the cows raised virtually side by side, or, you know, fed similar diets, similar situations, and it's just the breed of cow. You get a different color. We thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah. All right, so it's done. To make it real easy to handle and measure, I'm going to use my 1 cup measure. And this is really easy. You know, when you get it in a box at the store, it's always 2 cups, and it's broken into 1/2 cup sticks. So this way, I'm going to round that one out a little bit. I've got my 2 cups in each package, and it's really easy if it comes out. All right. I'm going to put them together, roll it up nice, and then I'll put it in a Ziploc bag in the freezer, and that'll keep it real good. Another way to keep it, and you know, it's raw butter. It hasn't been heated at all or pasteurized, which preserves a lot of the raw milk goodness in it. Also makes it prone to get sour a little faster. One way to prevent that is to make ghee out of it, and that will be a separate video that we'll show you another time. So there's the butter, how we made it, why it's good for you, and how you can store it. This is Jill from the Homestead Kitchen. Anyone can farm.